Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. We are live here on YouTube, and we are talking the 2026 NFC North Preview. We're here, Gordon. We've made it to your division, and we'll hit all things North. We got a few little baseball things we're going to talk about at first. Preseason's here, guys. Week 1 is in the books of the preseason, and we're heading to week 2 of the preseason, getting ever so closer to the season. How you guys doing? We're less than a month away from actual football being played.
We're less than a month away from actual football, but it's a questionable decision by you tonight, Brent, for us to go live for the division that we know Gordo's just going to go all in on. I'm really excited for this. I'm going to be even more excited for the next one, of course, but it's going to be nice to hear someone out of the division rant about their own team as well.
And I got plenty to rant about. That's why I gave myself that name, Rant a Lot.
Gordon Rant a Lot. I heard before, Gage, you asked if he was related to Sir Mix-a-Lot, and of course, as we can tell, absolutely, he sure is.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure. Get a couple drinks in Gordo, and he'll be able to freestyle all over the place too.
Yeah, freestyle.
Well,
it'll sound like this.
So before we get into the North, the AFC North, I want to just hit a few things really quick. Gage, you got the
NFC North.
Did I say AFC?
Yeah.
Sorry, getting excited already ahead of myself there.
Close enough.
NFC North, we're live here. No, whatever.
Can't take that one back.
Can't edit that one out. So Gage, in your background there, you have Tommy John. Pitcher, famous, changed the game of baseball with the surgery that he had on his elbow, extended his career, passing away this past week.
And you know what? If you have a surgery named after yourself, you either did something really good or really bad. I'm not too sure which, but I think, for the game, I think it's done a lot of good long term. Obviously, it sucks in the short term, but to help people's arms, not completely fall apart. And when they do fall apart, put it together.
And, speaking of, Tommy John surgery, Hunter Green out for the 2027 season already.
With another injury, is this going to be like another Tommy John for him? Has he had it in the past?
I don't know if he has or has not. I don't feel like he has had it before, but he's had a lot of issues.
I was gonna say, I know he's had long-term injuries.
He can't play enough to have a Tommy John surgery.
That's true.
Yeah, you got to be out there a little bit longer. Hey, if maybe they should do a blister surgery on Nick Lodolo and name it the Nick Lodolo surgery. Think he could get famous from that?
Maybe. I don't know what you would even call it, because the Nick Lodolo surgery, that doesn't have a good ring to it.
Kind of goes along with it.
Well, I guess if you have a surgery named after you, it's something good. If you've got a disease named after you, that sucks.
Yeah.
Skylar says, hi, Dad. Hi, Sky. All right, there we go. So,
but then also, Tommy John is shortened to, TJ. They're having the TJ surgery. Nick Lodolo would be the NL surgery. We already have the NL with the National League, so I don't think you can have that.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people that's we mentioned Hunter Green is going to be out next season. Gage, what about your guy, Paul Skeens? Something's going on with him. He can't get it above 96 mile an hour. He's out here taking pictures on the beach with Libby Dunn with his shirt off, and, looks like he's living his best life off the field. Are you concerned about Paul Skeens?
So, personal life, no, I'm not concerned with Paul Skeens because he's still doing really good. Livy still looks really good. Paul, not as much. But you don't have to be in the best shape to be a pro pitcher either. Just go look at Bartolo Colon, for example. Now on the field wise, not able to get it past 96. His last outing against, I want to say it was Miami, he went 65 pitches. And he was supposed to have the start this past Sunday. You sometimes hear of starts getting pushed back a day, for whatever the reason is, may just be fatigue or whatever. His start got pushed to tomorrow, Wednesday. That's a 3-day push. I'm actually really worried. I think a lot of the Pirates' issues this year has come from the pitching side of things. Obviously, Skeens has nearly a 4 ERA, and some of the other pitchers just aren't doing nearly as well. I mean, Mitch Keller fell apart a lot sooner than what we expect him to during the season, and a lot of it has to do, in my personal opinion, is the changing of the pitching coach. Oscar Marine, when he was in Pittsburgh, did really, really well. Now I think he's actually in Cincinnati now. So, I mean, take that for as you will. But still, when he was in Pittsburgh, the pitching was really freaking good. And now it's really freaking not. So, yeah, I'm worried for him. And I hope this isn't the start of an already downfall. And I hope they shouldn't have traded him by now.
Yeah, it's early, so maybe it's early in his career. He's only his third season right here.
Yeah,
like pretty much fresh right out of LSU. Didn't really have a lot of time in the minors or whatever. But yeah, that velocity, it would kind of worry me a little bit right now. I mean, is he trying to play through the injury, or is it just everybody overreacting? I don't know. Should probably get it checked out and see.
I definitely do think something's wrong. I just don't know what. Right.
Well, so I don't think we need to talk anything else Pirates here, do we, Gage? I mean,
no, we're good. I mean, O'Neal Cruz came back tonight. He had a home run, so that's cool. But outside of that, nah.
Understood. The Reds, they're done for. But something interesting today. Joey Votto was on the MLB Network, and he said, I would like to take the GM position for the Cincinnati Reds.
Whoa.
And I'm like, do it now. What are we waiting on? Do it right now. Like, fire Nick Krall right now. Get Votto in starting tonight. Like, get him to the game at the end of the game here tonight and go ahead and just start right now. Here's the job. Do what you must, Mr. Votto. Guys, do you like the idea of Joey Votto wanting to be the GM? Like, if you have a former legend of your team saying they would take the GM position, is that a good idea? Bad idea?
I think it's a great idea. I think he'd also fix a lot of the fucking hitting problems, because there's not too many guys that could locate the ball quite as well as Joey Votto did. I mean, the people, Barry Bonds back in the day before he started juicing, he was a Hall of Fame hitter before he gained 30 pounds of muscle, and before his head grew the size of two watermelons stuck together.
Yeah, right.
Two watermelons stuck together.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a head the size that there was bigger guys look and say, man, that's a big ass head. Anyways. But like I said, though, I want him in the dugout as a GM, so when there's a brawl, he can go walk out in the field and watch people part the ways because they don't want to touch him.
Yeah,
I want to see that again. I want to see when he's walking down right, people just staring at him like, I'm going this way.
Yeah. I think it's a great idea to have him in there. Maybe it may not be as GM, but just as some part of like running this organization. I mean, you look at the Giants, they brought in Buster Posey almost right away, and he's like the vice president or whatever of baseball operations, basically the GM. And it's like, Giants are doing real well this year, but still in there, still trying to lead these guys. I think it'd be great to have Votto in there.
Yeah, I would love it for them to bring him back. I mean, because you can't get any worse than Nick Krall. So why not bring in Joey Votto? If he happens to fail, whatever. I mean, the Reds fans are still going to love him for what he did in Cincinnati as a player. Maybe not a GM, but, it can't be any worse. Just give him a shot. Katie says here that Tucker Barnhart was the best player the Reds had. Yep. Well, I can't say anything else. Tucker Barnhart was great.
Well, come on. Jose Trevino's better than Tucker Barnhart. Come on.
Gage getting heat in this household. I got to say, whoa.
No.
Oh, man.
I am not going to disagree with her, but I am going to say he's the best defensive catcher they ever had.
Bingo. That is a fact right there.
Oh, not that hard to do.
Johnny Bench may have
Hey.
something to say there, but
Yeah, Johnny might, but I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying that he was the best defensive catcher they ever had.
Oh, Gage,
And they did have some good ones.
She's already back at you here. She says, "Really?"
I said he's the best defensive catcher they ever had.
Oh, I was talking about Gage. She's saying really to Gage there. Anyways,
and they've had some good defensive catchers. Bo Diaz was a good defensive catcher. Johnny Bench was a good defensive catcher. Tucker Barnhart was better than him as far as defensive. He could call a game.
He could. So, fingers crossed that maybe they'll do something. They'll bring Votto in. Fingers crossed. Now another baseball item from the past week: the Chicago Brawl. The North Siders and the South Siders fighting it out in the stands and the bleachers. Guys, I know Gage, you caught the video there earlier. What do you guys think about fans fighting in the stands? I mean,
they need to get the East Siders in there.
Yeah, a full-out brawl. This was like East Coast, West Coast, 90s rap brawling out here, man. What you guys think about the Chicago Brawl?
Watching the video right before we started here, that was insane. No real purpose to the fight either. I'm waiting for like John Boy to do a video on it to try and break it down to see if he can figure something out, because I have no idea what in the world happened. But wow.
It's going to be a 25-minute breakdown. I can't wait for that. Speaking of John Boy breakdowns, I also would like to see some, because he wasn't around really when Joey Votto was playing. I would like to see some John Boy breakdowns of Joey Votto going nuclear on some umpires too while we're at it. But
that
the brawl,
awesome.
It's going to be like a half-hour video of that brawl with the John Boy breakdowns. Can't wait for that. That's going to be awesome.
No, and the original video, like the one that I pulled up, is 37 seconds. So I can't wait for the 25-minute video of it.
Yes. Because he's going to lip read every bit of it from all the guys there. And my favorite part of this whole brawl was there's 4 White Sox fans just wailing away on this 2 Cubs fans. Which they made. I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I'll judge after I see the John Boy video. But there's a Cubs fan that comes in and starts pulling the White Sox fans off the Cubs fans. You're like, all right, Cubs fans getting some backup. Nope. He starts wailing away on the other Cubs fans, right? And I'm like, what is going on here? You guys are on the same team. Like, friendly fire over here. And like he's meaning to do it. And I'm like, okay, this is just getting – these guys must just be horrible people out there if your own fans are just swinging away at you too.
You gotta figure something was said, right?
Had to be.
And I'm not throwing out any accusations, but if anything derogatory was said,
yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but entertaining as can be. I mean, hey,
for sure.
Well, White Sox are in first place in the Central, and their fans are fighting more than they did, the last 10 years in baseball. So, yeah, you give them a little success, and this is what they do. So,
they go absolutely insane.
Yeah, literally. So now let's switch back over. Let's get back into football there. That's all the baseball we're going to talk, because there's nothing else to even talk about with baseball.
No.
Baseball season's over. We may get a few nuggets here and there, but let's talk about some NFC North. Sorry, Gordon, I about did it again. And let's start with a preseason game last week. Sorry, Gordon, got to do it. It's an NFC North team here. The Steelers defeat the Packers.
It's preseason, doesn't mean a shit.
28-9. What'd you guys think about the game? This is your 2 teams. You all probably paid attention to this more than I did because the Bengals were playing at the same time. So I didn't catch any of it. So I'll let you guys take over here on this one. What did you all think about the performance last week?
Since your team won, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I didn't get to watch any of the game because I was on a road trip during this time. I did see some of the highlights. And exactly like I said in our group chat, I'm not too sure if the Packers corners got any better this year than what they were last year. I know a lot of, third stringers and stuff like that playing. I get that. But you're letting Drew Aller do whatever he wants to you. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like Drew Aller. I've made that well known. And you just let him do whatever you want.
Future QB1 in Pittsburgh.
No, that's Will Howard. He looked really good. there was one drive. Robert Tonyan was like the main focus of the drive.
Former Packer.
Former Packer, former Chief. It was really nice to see him out there, get some go on it. I'm actually hoping he makes the roster. He did good for me 1 year in fantasy. He had like a 3-touchdown game or whatever against the Bears, and I was like, this guy is awesome. Other skill position players like Mason Rudolph, I think is the odd man out. Quarterback wise, he's got to go. Like trade him for a 5th or something ridiculous like that.
No, right now I don't think you get a warm 6-pack out of him.
I think you get something. It's a guy that is a good backup. You're not going to trust him to be your season-long starter, but you need a guy to go in and finish out a game or start a game, spot start. He can give you a little bit of something. Get a 5th, get a 6th for him. Let it be what it is.
Gordon, what'd you think about the game?
There was a lot of areas I was kind of impressed with.
Kyle McCord? Sorry.
No, that's not him. That's not him. He didn't play god awful, but he wasn't. No, not god awful. No, he didn't suck. The cornerback sucked. He didn't. Yeah. But to be fair, there was 3 corners that wasn't even suited up. One of them was Carrington Valentine. He needed to play because he was he was not all that good last year. You can't call yourself a bona fide starter in NFL when there's only 2 of you on the team. That is the bare minimum for the cornerbacks on a football team is 2. And if you've only got 2, you can't call yourself a bona fide starter. You're just a starter because that's all you got.
Starter out of necessity.
Yeah, that's necessity starter is not a starter. But and one of the new guys, Damani Jackson from Alabama, was not playing. And Kamal Haddon, which I don't know who in the fuck that is, but he couldn't have been any worse than Keyshawn Nixon. Because he was god fucking awful.
Did Sissy play? Your first round pick, Brandon Sissy?
Yeah.
The Sissy guy?
Yeah. Cisse Hurd? Yeah, he played.
Sissy.
Yeah, Cisse. Yeah.
But I mean, really though, all of our draft picks didn't play. Cisse Hurd played, probably because they said no, you got to play. We've only got 3 of you out here.
Well, you got to suit somebody up.
Yeah, you got to play. Our nickelback wasn't playing. Nobody was. Danny Dennis Sutton, the edge rusher out of Penn State, wasn't suited up. I was actually looking forward to watching. But one of the positive notes, okay, the line didn't play bad. The defense didn't play bad. Until who they started come out, Pittsburgh couldn't even get in the red zone. Couldn't even get close to it. And they kept stopping them. And that was vanilla defense. That means Pittsburgh had no skill players whatsoever out on the field. And they had Mason Rudolph quarterbacking, so that wasn't good either.
I was going to say, right there's your issue.
Yeah, that's a big issue. But for Green Bay fans, this is something you're going to like to hear if you didn't watch. Our kicker was 4 of 4. Yes, he only 3 counted, but he made the one that got called back because Pittsburgh committed a penalty and they got a first down on it. But he had 4 kicks. He made all 4. One of them was 58 yards.
Smacked all 4 of them in there.
Smacked all 4 of them. I mean, and they wasn't even close. They was down the middle. And with plenty of room. I'm like, fuck yeah. Keep that shit up. Because I can't tell you how many games we lost in the past 4 years because of fucking kickers. Can't make a goddamn field goal. Can't make a fucking thing. I mean, they couldn't kick a set of balls if the balls was laying on their fucking foot. They would miss them and kick you in the knee or some shit like that. I mean, I'm surprised we hadn't had a quadruple doink because But that means they had to get close. And they didn't even get close. I'm talking when they missed far wide right, there was another football field in between the football and the fucking goalpost on the right. That's how fucking far it was. They almost kicked the referee standing beside him in the face with the football. That bad. Anyways, okay, but I digress. Pretty decent night. Decent running night. It's our RB1 and 2 wasn't playing. Moved the ball pretty good. Jordan Love only played one series and then went out. Yeah, Kyle McCord played 1 year at Ohio State. Will Howard came in and he said, well, I ain't going to start. I'm going somewhere else. So he went to Syracuse. He didn't have a bad year at Syracuse, but then again, his competition wasn't nearly as rough.
ACC is not as tough as the Big Ten.
And he didn't have Marvin Harrison in college to throw to. College Marvin Harrison is way different than the Marvin Harrison you're watching in Arizona.
Yeah.
By far. Anyways, he could be that again. I'd say he might be if they could get someone that could actually get the ball in the spot where he can catch it. Because if you make it a little rough on him, he seems to pull him down a lot more. If you hit him, well, of course, Kyler Murray couldn't fucking see him, so he was just throwing the ball where he thought he might be, and he wasn't there yet. I mean, some of the passes I've seen Kyler Murray, throw Marvin Harrison, Mutombo wouldn't have been able to catch him, motherfuckers. I mean, Jesus Christ, you'd had to have been Shaq on stilts to catch some of them fucking balls. Anyways, I believe I'm done ranting for a second. Brand, if you want to get in on this.
Nope, I didn't watch any of the game, but like I said, I saw the scores, saw the stats and all that, so don't really have much to add to this one. But there is another NFC North team that played an AFC North team, and that would be the Bengals defeating the Lions 16-14. And the Bengals started their starters, and the Lions started none of their starters, but like Isaac Tesla, maybe, who is like their third, maybe fourth string wide receiver.
I think he's fifth.
I think he's moved up a little bit.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, his cards this past offseason, his autographs have been going a little high in that market. For whatever reason, somebody sees something in him. I really didn't last year, but whatever.
2 A's.
Yeah, it's not Tesla, it's Tesla. But the Bengals, they had Josh Johnson out there quarterbacking in the preseason, 40-year-old Josh Johnson. They had 42-year-old Joe Flacco out there starting in the preseason. Joe Burrow played a series, didn't look that great, but whatever. Sean Clifford, who's the youngest of the bunch, is out there playing a little bit too. Not a whole lot.
Packer.
Not a whole lot going on with the Bengals here. They played a couple of series on offense, didn't do a whole lot. Defense played a little bit. Nothing much to get excited about. The thing with the preseason, especially early on, guys are just out there getting reps. You really can't tell. Like if a Drew Aller has a great game in week 1 of the preseason, he's facing a team that's playing a vanilla defense for sure. And you're not really going to get a real good gauge on that not going to get a really good gauge on that if he's going up against a team with a vanilla defense. You won't really be able to tell if that's really he's that good or if that's just the defense he's playing against. So
just defense he's playing against.
Yeah, probably so. So that was our little preseason recap for the weekend there.
I also will not tolerate any Isaac Tesla slander. He caught 6 touchdowns last year on only 16 catches. Nearly 40% of his catches went for 6.
That is why his cards, I guess, are going crazy. Because
would not surprise me.
Yeah, because like I said, he's probably the 4th or 5th guy. Like maybe the 3rd guy now. Maybe he's Andre Yosivas who actually catches a pass in the red zone. I don't know, but
Yosivas doesn't even know what the red zone is.
Well, Gage, now, so we just did our draft a couple of weeks ago, and we have already, last week, nothing to report on, but this week,
From turf to tears, it's Injury Fears. Who's sidelined this week engages fantasy sphere.
So, I hate to report it. But we have the first injury. A guy that I said when I drafted him, I expected it to be kind of an underdog pick, a rookie wide receiver, potential to take the number 1, number 2 slot. And then Jordan Tyson, the news is broke here yesterday or the day before that he is expected to miss about 2 months due to the hamstring injury that he suffered last week. Appreciate it. Oh, wow. That's way to bring the mood down right there. That's crazy. So to deal with the Jordan Tyson injury, the Saints brought in 2 wide receivers to work out today. One that I'm very familiar with in Chase Claypool. Did not know he was even still in the league, still trying out, but he is on a tryout for the Saints. Outside of that, we look healthy. Everyone looks fine. Barely played in the preseason, which is cool. We're looking good so far. The injured list, though, population 1.
Hey, got to start somewhere, right? So already before we're even getting started in the preseason, really, like we're not even deep into the preseason yet, and already your NFC South Rookie of the Year pick gone.
Thanks.
For a little bit.
Thanks.
Dark horse.
So it wasn't a good pick.
Hey, it might be. Ask me again in 2.5 months. Never know.
Never know. He's only out 6 weeks, so hey.
And it's just so funny to me that Claypool gets to work out. A bunch of former Steeler names thrown in the mix here in the past 24 hours. Chase Claypool working out. Najee Harris signing to the Giants. And to make room on the Giants roster, they cut Juju. I'm like, man, a lot of Steelers going on here. Yeah.
Are they adding Najee because Cam Scatterbo is just probably already in concussion protocol again?
Probably, or he tore something up in his knee. I'm not really too sure.
It's hard telling with that guy.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's get into it here and let's talk our NFC North 2026 preview. All right. Last year, we'll start out as we go. We go by what the standings were last year, not in any particular order. So we'll start out with the team here that won the division last year. Gordon, once again, sorry, we're just going by what the standings were.
Hey, just going by standings. It's all right.
Just going by standings. The Chicago Bears is where we will start it off, and I will get to the free agents and the draft picks. The over-under for the Packers. Sorry. Woo-hoo. Sorry, Gordon.
Not yet.
Slip there. Over-under for the Bears is 9.5 wins. Free agents, they signed running back Salvon Ahmed, wide receiver Kyron Hudson. Who are these people? Wide receiver Scott Miller. Is that Scotty? Wide receiver Khalif Raymond. Hey, heard of that one. Offensive lineman Jedrick Wills. Edge Kentavious Street. Defensive lineman Neville Gallimore. Defensive lineman James Lynch. Linebacker Devin Bush. Here we go, Steelers again. Linebacker Wayne Matthews II. Linebacker John Radigan. Linebacker Jack Sanborn, cornerback Cam Lewis, safety Kobe Bryant, defensive back Anthony Johnson Jr. What?
No, you said Kobe Bryant. I went fade.
Oh.
Fade shot.
Draft. In the draft, the first round, they take safety Dylan Thieneman from Oregon. Second round, center Logan Jones from Iowa. Third round, tight end Sam Roush from Stanford. Third round, wide receiver Xavier Thomas from LSU. Fourth round, Malik Muhammad from Texas. Fifth round, Keyshawn Elliott from Arizona State. Sixth round, Jordan Vanderberg from Georgia Tech. Gage, what do we think here about the Chicago Bears this upcoming season?
Would you say their over-under was?
9.5.
9.5 after they just went 11-6 last season. You would kind of think they'd be moving in the right direction with Caleb. But when you look at it, especially this coming schedule, it's a lot harder to tell. They have the toughest strength of schedule this season based on the opponent's combined record from last year, which is at over 500. It's slated at 550. Each of the last 9 teams to enter a season with the toughest strength of schedule failed to win a playoff game. That's some frightening recent history, especially if you're a Bears fan. Let's see the over. I'm just looking at the betting numbers right now. They're actually favorited. No. Okay. They're not favorited to win the division, but they are plus 100 to go over. I don't know. They lost Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright, Tremaine Edmonds. The defense led the league with 33 takeaways, and the 9.5 line is Chicago's highest win total since 2012. The under is 10-2-1 over the past 12 seasons for them, and the Bears also haven't gone over their preseason win total in back-to-back seasons since 2006. I do, however, I have a lot of faith in Caleb, in Ben Johnson, and I believe Caleb will improve on his 58.1 completion percentage rate, which is so bad. So bad. It was one of the numbers that I kept giving out last year when we were doing week previews of the previous week. I'm anticipating second-year jumps as well from guys like Luther Bird and Colston Loveland. I like the over here. I think they're going to win 10 games this season and take the over on the 9.5. But they do not win the division.
Jordan, what do you think about the Chicago Bears?
You almost said it right. Almost. It's Chicago. Or the Bear Shits. Whichever one you want to call them. Chicago Bear Shits or the Hammond Bear Shits. I don't give a damn.
Oh, yeah, they'll be Hammond, soon enough.
No, they're supposed to be taking the name Chicago with them, but they're going to be playing in Hammond.
Yeah.
What fucking babies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. I'm going to piss some people off this week.
We love that.
I will tell you this, though. No, I'm going to do the same thing I did, every week. I'm not going to, Brent's already given us the rundown, so I'm just going to give you my favorite. Well, in this division, I'm going to give you the ones I hate the most, which means I think it's the best ones they got. Doesn't mean I fucking like it. Mr. Fade, Kobe Bryant, the safety, thought that was a great pickup.
Yep.
I fucking hate it.
Champ.
I fucking hate it. Devin Bush was a great pickup. I fucking hate it. Their best draft pick was, how'd you say that name? Thieneman?
Dylan Thieneman.
Phil the man? I don't know. Now, their big losses, Edmonds and Byard was a fucking huge loss. I love that. That's great. That's great for him. Love that shit. Kevin Byard was a good corner. I'm glad he's not fucking there anymore. I will say this, though. They're going to follow suit with their thing. They got their over last year. They ain't getting it this year. I think Caleb Williams is coming back down to earth because now he's already been figured out. If you keep his short ass in a pocket, he can't find nobody. And whenever he plays, hopefully Micah Parsons comes back the week that we play the Bears the first time. The Bear Shits. That way Micah Parsons could chase his little fucking ass down. And maybe put his ankles in his ass or something. I don't know. Anyways, okay. Sorry about that. Let's hear your thoughts, Brent.
You got them going under?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like the Bears, may actually have a quarterback, maybe. I mean, this, they haven't had a quarterback for a long time. He set the team passing record with 3,942 yards. 5th in the NFL, 27-7 touchdown interception ratio. They've never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 yards in a season. As crazy as that is, as old as that franchise is. But Williams was best when it was crunch time. I mean, he wanted to take the Iceman name, but it got denied. Tom Brady said that his 46-yard walk-off touchdown pass in the overtime game against the Packers was the best throw of the NFL season. Okay.
No, it was Keyshawn Nixon walking around with a stump up his butt. That's what that was.
So in the offense, they've got Colston Loveland, who is had a great rookie season. He led the Bears in receiving yards last season with 713, the first tight end to do it since Mike Ditka in 61. He also has Roma Dunze and Luther Burden over there on that side. And in the backfield, he's got a pretty good 1-2 punch. DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monungai, 7th-round pick last year, had 783 yards rushing. The only NFL teammates to run for at least 750 yards last season. On the other side of the ball, as you mentioned, Gordon, they bring in where am I at there? Oh, they bring in Kobe Bryant from Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. And Devin Bush, and they draft safety Dylan Thieneman in the first round and cornerback Malik Muhammad in the 4th, which should add to that defense over there. And the 9.5, I think that the Bears, 9.5 is not bad, but the Bears, I think this is the time where they come back down to earth a little bit here. I think they hit the under on the 9.5, maybe 9-8 this year. They lose some of those close games that they won last year. But give me the Bears in an under here. But I think they have a winning season. But they're not winning the division. So that'll take us now to the team that finished in 2nd place in the division last year. And that is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers over-under is 4.5. So let's go over their free agents and their draft picks, shall we? There's not a lot to go over here. Free agents. Quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Wide receiver Sky Moore. Defensive lineman Javon Hargrave. Linebacker Zaire Franklin via trade. And cornerback Benjamin St. Justy. Draft. Second round, they picked cornerback Brandon Sissy from South Carolina. Just kidding. Cisse. I'll say the names correctly here.
Cisse heard, yeah.
3rd round, they go defensive tackle Chris McClellan from Missouri. 4th round, edge Danny Dennis Sutton, Penn State. 5th round, center Jagger Burton, Kentucky. 6th round, cornerback Domani Jackson from Alabama. And in the 6th round, they also take kicker Trey Smack. All right. So I'll go ahead and I'll start it off this time, and then we'll go Gage, and then we'll have Gordon finish it off. So the offense, it starts with Jordan Love, who played better last season, 101.2 passer rating, 6th in the league. But he didn't make it to the Super Bowl like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre did at the age of 27. So way to let the whole town down. Josh Jacobs is in the backfield. They bring Tyrod in to back up Jordan Love after Malik Willis heads out to Miami. Jacobs ran for less than 1,000 yards last season, but he had a nagging knee injury and inconsistency on the offensive line. The Packers don't have a proven backup. They also had Romeo Doubs leave for New England, traded Dontavian Wicks to Philadelphia. So they've got Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Matthew Golden. That is their 1-2-3 over there on that. And then you get Tucker Kraft, tight end, who was awesome until he went down with an injury. Hopefully he can come back and he's healthy this season. But offensively, they've got some pieces over there. It's just, can they stay healthy? And can they get some blocking for the guys, too? On the defense. On the defense, here we go again with the injuries. Micah Parsons is the guy on defense. He had 12 and a half sacks, made him the first player to register at least 12 sacks in each of his first 5 seasons. He's out he's out for the first 6 weeks of the season. And then over there, you've got Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, Edgerrin Cooper. You bring in Zaire Franklin from a trade. Quay Walker is gone. And then you've got some pretty good safeties back there. For as bad as your defensive backs are, your safety trio is not too bad with McKinney, Evan Williams, and Javon Bullard. 9.5 for the Packers. It all depends on if they can stay healthy, which I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think they stay healthy. I've got the Packers going over on their win total this season. Give me the Packers in an over. And give me the Packers to win this division this year. Gage, what do you got?
Wow. All right. So on the flip side, I don't feel very optimistic about the Packers this season because I don't think they got better. They lost a lot of players: Rashawn Gary, Romeo Dubes, Nate Hobbs, Quay Walker, Elton Jenkins, Kingsley Anagbari, or however you pronounce it, and Dontavian Wicks. They did get Zaire Franklin, Javon Hargrave, Brandon Cisse, like you mentioned, but that's about it in terms of like star people, that are going to be, day one starters. They are tied for the 3rd toughest schedule this season. And like you mentioned, Micah Parsons expected to miss the first few weeks, as well as we don't really know what's going on with Josh Jacobs. Is he going to get suspended before week 1? Is he not? We don't really know. And if he does, question 1 is how long? And question number 2 is, can the other running backs step up if they have to be the starter in place of him? I don't really know. You're looking at Jordan Love to hopefully have kind of a bounce back year. He was kind of down a little bit last season, but he doesn't have the premier pass catchers to throw to. He doesn't have a George Pickens, a Jamar Chase, a Devontae Adams that some of these other quarterbacks have to throw the ball to, that they're going to be a big playmaker. Jameson Williams, DJ Moore, he's up in Buffalo now, but still these guys that can be a number 1 guy. I think Love will be better, but I don't think the defense is going to be able to keep up. 9.5 is the win total. I'm going to have them take the under on it.
All right, Gage has the under on the Packers, and we go to our resident Green Bay Packer fan to let us know what he thinks about the Packers this upcoming season. Gordon, what do you think about your Packers?
All right, you were sitting and talking about last year and pass catchers. Well, last year he did have a down year. Tucker Kraft went out after, I think it was week 11, wasn't it? Week 10, week 11, something like that.
Something like that.
Luke Musgrave can't stay on the damn field. He's good, but he can't stay on the field. Christian Watson couldn't stay on the fucking field. I mean, you have Dontavian Wicks that dropped more passes than he caught. So if he's good luck, Philadelphia.
Dubes with his helmet.
Dubes with that really huge fucking helmet. I think he wore 3 helmets at one time just to protect his head. I know it's a Guardian cap, but there's other Guardian caps that they're big. There's one with a fucking C on it from Cleveland Guardian.
Yeah.
Put one of them ball caps on. Guardian cap, same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. Oh, and see, Gage brought up one person that was gone. Who was that? Oh, yeah, that was Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary ain't worth a fuck. Last year, he was good up until, what week was it that Micah Parsons went out? Was it week 11? It was against Carolina.
Something like that, yeah.
All right. He had 8 sacks up until, like, in the first 9 games. He didn't even sniff past the line of fucking scrimmage after that. Not when the quarterback had it. When Micah Parsons went out, Rashawn Gary become nothing. He could be blocked with one person, and because you wasn't keying on Micah no more, let's be honest, no one on that fucking defense could damn near break the fucking line of scrimmage. Micah Parsons took 3 people out. It took 3 people to block him, and not even 3 people couldn't even block him. Not really. not without grabbing him and putting him in a sleeper hold. Which reminds me, WWE, listen to me. Make Gunther stop using that fucking sleeper hold. God damn, that's so fucking boring. He holds someone on a sleeper hold 20 goddamn minutes. Anyways, okay, let's get off that because we're not talking about wrestling. We're talking about football. Brent, I do agree with you on the safety thing. That's got to be almost a. And Javon Bullard is their nickel corner, but he is a safety. He's like the third safety on the field, and he is good. He can cover a tight end, which is saying something about safeties because normally safeties can't cover a tight end to save their ass. But they did get better on the cornerback because they got more than fucking 2.
Bo Melton.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he doesn't count. Oh, I'm sorry. They had 2.5. No, they had 2 3/4. Nate Hobbs was half because he was only on the field about 3 fucking games. Bo Melton was a quarter. So we had 2 3/4 cornerbacks. I mean, if you want to count Keyshawn next and a full one, I mean, you got to count one of them. You got to count 2 of them full ones because they had to play all the time. Yeah, see, that was my thing. You got rid of Jay Alexander, which was really good when he was on the field, but he was injured a lot. So you let him go and you bring in Nate Hobbs. You pay him a lot of money, who is not nearly as good when he's on the field, and he was injured a lot. Made a lot of fucking sense. That was like using a fucking reused condom. I'm telling you. That's like picking up a piece of toilet paper with shit on that toilet paper out of the trash can and saying, is this still any good? Anyways, yeah, I'm saying his play wasn't worth a shit. I just tried to come up with another colorful way to say it.
I think you get it.
But yeah, if Josh Jacobs isn't there, Chris Brooks is he's not Josh Jacobs level. He's not the best, but he is serviceable. He can get you tough yards. He can break one loose once in a while. He's not as good as Josh Jacobs, and if they want him to be, then they need to just release him and go sign someone else if Josh Jacobs ain't going to be there. He will get you yards when you need him. He's serviceable. He's okay. Like back in the day, whenever Bengals had good running game, he wasn't James Brooks, but he was like Stanford Jennings. He could get you some good yards once in a while, just not a kick returner. Sorry, he's not. Stanford Jennings was a good kick returner. He ran a touchdown back in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. They said they should have won that one and then ended up losing because they forgot Jerry Rice was a fucking receiver. Anyways, sorry, Brent. I watched that game. That broke my heart too.
Before my time, but I still feel the pain.
Well, that wasn't the first. That was the second one. That was
still.
Yeah, it was still. Yeah. I forget. It was really a long time ago, but I can remember it real well, so it didn't seem that long ago. But Stanford Jennings was really good running back. But they had James Brooks and Ickey Woods. Well, guess what? Stanford Jennings ain't that fucking good. He got you good yards in a game when you needed him, but he just wasn't going to be outstanding. That's Chris Brooks. He's not going to be outstanding, but he'll get you good yards. Anyways, and they do got a good receiving core. At least they got one ain't going to whine and bitch if they're not getting the ball. Like Dubes. Like Doobie. Doobie.
Dubes.
Doobie. Doobie. Anyways, but I think Matthew Golden's in his second year irritates me. They don't use the rookies, but they do it for a reason. And what reason? Don't ask me because I don't have a fucking clue. They did the same thing with Jair Alexander. They didn't want to use him his rookie year. They just got to the point there were so many injuries, they didn't have a choice. Then when they went in, they couldn't pull him out because he was too fucking good. They could have done that last year, but guess what? No, they wanted to give the ball to Mr. Stonehands Jr. because Devontae Adams was the original Stonehands. His rookie year, he couldn't catch shit. He dropped more passes, but Dontavian Wicks has had 3 or 4 years of dropping more passes than he caught. So I guess he's the king of the Stonehands. He's the Ronnie Garvin of the football league. Man with the hands of stone. Anyways, little old wrestling reference for you. Anyway, so my prediction for them is they're going to go over. And call it favoritism. I don't give a fuck what you call it. They're winning the division, goddammit.
Gordon's got the Packers winning. And a suplex, as you just showed us on here, Gage. Brock Rechsteiner during training camp with a suplex, because of course, why not?
The German suplex in the brawl against the Cowboys today. That was great.
He's got to put someone in a Steiner recliner, goddammit.
I was going to say, wait till he does a Steiner recliner out there on,
yeah,
Dak Prescott. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
all right.
Freaking
He's got to flex the peaks and give him a smooch.
All right, so the next team we've got here in the division, the Minnesota Vikings finished in third place last year, surprisingly. 8-5 for the Vikings. Let's go over their free agents and draft here. The quarterback that they bring in, Kyler Murray. Wide receiver, Jawan Jennings. Offensive lineman, Ryan Van Demark. Cornerback, James Pierre. Sound familiar, Gage? And punter, Johnny Hecker. In the draft, they take in the first round defensive tackle Caleb Banks from Florida. Second round linebacker Jake Golday from Cincinnati. Third round defensive tackle Dominique Orange from Iowa State. Third round, they take offensive tackle Caleb Tiernan from Northwestern. Third round, safety Jacoby Thomas from Miami. Fifth round, fullback Max Bredesen from Michigan. Fifth round, cornerback Charles Demings from Stone Cold Stephen F. Austin, and that's the bottom line. Sixth round, running back Demon Claiborne from Wake Forest. Seventh round, center Gavin Gerhard from the University of Cincinnati. The over-under is 8.5 for the Vikings. Gordon, what do you think about the old Vikings this year?
I went last one, first on this one. Fuck yeah. Anyway,
snake draft.
Yeah. I'm going to bring something up. As lucky as some of these motherfuckers were, other than Green Bay, they was too because all the injuries, and they still ended up. Every team had a winning fucking record.
Yep. 9-8.
Every team had a winning record.
Yep.
Yes, they Mike Tomlin at the bottom too, but fucking goddamn it was a winning record.
Can't say anything else about Tomlin on that. Winning record.
Never lost. Never had a losing record.
Never lost.
It was either a tie. It was either a tie or a winning record. So he never had a losing record. Kudos, man. That's a feat. Even though it's kind of like a gag now, at least with us.
Yeah.
It's still a fucking accomplishment.
I'm glad to Mike Tomlin my records. I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, me too. Because they can be so much worse.
I'm not.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, so let's go on the Vikings. We talked about the Bear shits a while back, Packers. Now we're on the Vikings. I did like the James Pierre pickup, but let me just put it this way: fucking hated it. They're in my division. I don't want them to get no good players. No, none of the teams in my division, other than mine, to get good players. Fuck them. Let them have all the Mason Rudolphs of the league.
Yes, please take them.
Yes, and make him your starting quarterback. But there got to be two more. Detroit needs one. Bear shits need one. And the Vikings need one. But yeah, Vikings have one. Never mind.
Yeah, Max Brosmer.
Well, evidently, then they got two. They just got one that's short and can't see over the line.
Don't speak about J.J. McCarthy like that.
That's 9 to you, Gage.
Well, then they got three of them. Because Kyler Murray ain't much better. He can't. I'm not saying now if he can see his target, he's pretty good. Problem is when you're 5'3" and you're trying to look over a 6'5" lineman, it's kind of hard to see your target. I know he's not that short, but fuck him, he is short. Well, when he stands next to a 6'5" lineman, he looks like J.D. McDonough, world's tallest midget.
Yeah.
Anyways, as far as their draft picks, Banks was pretty good. Banks was a pretty good draft pick. It was something they needed, and it was a pretty good draft pick. But I'm going to tell you what, though, they're going to miss Harrison Smith. They are going to fucking miss Harrison Smith. I don't give a fuck if he's lost a step or Cap Townsend or what. They're going to miss Harrison Smith. He was the glue on that defense. You look back to all the years they had a good defense, he was in the middle of a lot of that shit going on. I don't have a whole lot to say about this team. I mean, if J.J. McCarthy is your best backup option, you suck. 8.5 is their over-under.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're going way under. They're going to be competing with Chicago Bear shits for who gets the opportunity to sweep the fucking basement.
Ooh.
Now they may just be 8-9. It may just be like last year. There might be 2 8-9s and they lose just by the fact that they schedule comparison. Who's to say? But not all teams are going to be over 500 this year. Yeah, 2 of them are going under. One of them I said it, and the other one is the Vikings and the Bear shits are going under. I mean, from what you said about Green Bay, I can definitely say about Minnesota. They did not get any better at all. Not from what I've noticed. Not with the loss of Harrison Smith. They did not bring anything to glue that defense back together. So they're going under, and I'm going to cut mine short because I really talked a lot during the last little segment.
All right, so I'll go ahead and go here, Gage. Then you can end this one, and then you can start off with the lines. So Kevin O'Connell usually has, quarterbacks playing under center, and now he's got Kyler Murray, who prefers shotgun, coming off of a foot injury, who likes to scramble around. And then you also got J.J. McCarthy, who's the backup, who they traded away Sam Darnold to the Seahawks because they went with McCarthy. And Sam Darnold went out and won a Super Bowl. So J.J. McCarthy, you talk about maybe making one of the worst decisions. And I think I talked about that last year on the podcast with J.J. McCarthy. Why would you trade away a guy who didn't pass much in college to begin with? Yeah, he won a national championship, but that was because of Blake Corum and what was the other dude that was a running back over there for him that year? Was it Robinson? What might not have been Robinson? He didn't do it. Edwards. Donovan Edwards.
Yeah.
Those two guys, the 1-2 punch there, that's what won you games in college. It wasn't J.J. McCarthy. So,
and the fact that the coaches knew the offensive plays from the other team.
Well, either way, he didn't throw a whole lot in college.
No.
So why would you think he was going to be that great of a quarterback in the NFL? Kevin O'Connell must have saw something there and didn't see it in Sam Darnold. Bad decision. But you do have 2 pretty good receivers and one really great receiver. Justin Jefferson is your number 1. Jordan Addison is your number 2. But Jefferson's coming off his least productive season. But that's probably because J.J. McCarthy was horrible last year. So they go out and they get Juwan Jennings as the number 3 receiver. We'll see what that does for him. T.J. Hawkinson, since being traded to the Vikings, the Lions got rid of him at the right time, right? Because he has not been nearly productive with the Vikings as he was with the Lions. And then the running back, you've got Aaron Jones. They bring in Jordan Mason, and they draft Demond Claiborne. None of these guys scare me running back-wise either. On defense, you've got Brian Flores, who is a really good defensive coordinator. But I don't know, man. Like you said, you're going to miss Harrison Smith over there, a guy that, looked like an all-world, all-pro player last year, Isaiah Rodgers. He had a decent 2025, or maybe he just had one decent game where he had 2 touchdowns and against the Bengals and had, was it a perfect or close to a perfect score? One of the top 5 PFF scores in history or something like that.
I think it was a perfect PFF score. I think it was one of the first times ever. I think that's what that guy said.
Yeah, it's ridiculous is what it was. But he didn't do nothing else the rest of the season pretty much. I mean, you didn't hear much out of him after that. Maybe it's sour grapes. I don't know. But I think Minnesota takes a step back this season. They they go under the 8.5 here, I've got them probably down in the basement. I don't like what they've got at quarterback. I really don't like what they've got at running back right now. The only thing that's going for them on offense is Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. But if you can't get anybody to get the ball to them, it does not matter what you've got over there. I think Kevin O'Connell could be a decent head coach offensively, but I think he made the wrong decision to let Sam Darnold go, and now look what he's got. You don't have a quarterback. It's hard to win in this league, and I don't think Minnesota is going to do a whole lot of that. Gage, what do you think?
So out of all the quarterbacks we have talked about, we've forgotten about one guy in this quarterback room. Not Max Brosmer, Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy. How about great value Red Rocket, Carson Wentz? Forgot about him in that quarterback room. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Kyler's been named the starter for week 1. Is JJ the number 2? Is Carson the number 2? Who's the odd man out here? I think Max Brosmer is the one that gets cut. I don't really know. And I'm interested to see if Kyler will improve this team at all. He played just 5 games for the Cardinals last season because of his foot injury, and he's missed 30 out of a possible 68 games over the past 5 seasons. Has not looked good since 2021, but we know that when he's on, he can be electric. He can be a really good playmaker, and he's going to have better weapons here. He's going to have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Jawan Jennings. Nothing really in the running back room, but he's going to have guys to throw to. And Jennings, especially, I think he was one of the most underrated signings of this entire offseason. Led the team in red zone targets, fourth quarter targets, and third down targets last season. So, there's not much to really be upset about there.
He was the only healthy player for the Niners at that point, though. Sorry.
That too, but you know what? When he was the only healthy one, he was still producing. So it's like, what's he going to be able to do here is even number 3. And Murray now has the backing of a Brian Flores-led defense, and he definitely did not have that in Arizona. Arizona's defense, we all know, was just abysmal, and it's going to be this year. Minnesota did lose guys, like you guys mentioned, Harrison Smith, Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, Jonathan Grenard. But they did add some key additions in the draft that I'm a fan of, like Gourde, Orange, and Thomas. I'm kind of interested to see where that goes. The Vikings hit the over last year thanks to a 5-game winning streak to end the season. Do we really see Minnesota getting worse? And my answer to that question is yes. I do see them getting worse, and I'm going to take the under on this one. And I think they finish last in the division.
So we all are in agreement here. Minnesota is the worst team in this division coming up for this season. All of us taking the under on that. So now that'll lead us to the team that finished in last place technically last season with the winning record at 9-8. Huge disappointing season for this team here. And that is the Detroit Lions at 10.5 wins is what they've got. The team that finished last season has the highest over and under for the season. So let's go over their free agent signings and draft picks. Now, usually when we go over free agent signings for a team that finished in last place, we're here for quite a while. With this one, not really. Not a whole lot of movement in the free agency market for the NFC North this offseason. So they bring in quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. Oops, Two Gloves Teddy says, I don't want to be here anymore, and retires. So they get quarterback Joshua Dobbs, running back Isaiah Pacheco, wide receiver Greg Dortch, tight end Tyler Conklin, center Cade Mays, tackle Ben Barch, offensive tackle Larry Borum, offensive lineman Juice Scruggs via trade, defensive end DJ Wanham, defensive lineman Jay Tufele, linebacker Damone Clark, cornerback Roger McCreary, safety Chuck Clark, safety Christian Azien. Draft, first round offensive tackle Blake Miller from Clemson, second round edge Derek Moore from Michigan, fourth round linebacker Jimmy Rolder from Michigan. They like the Michigan guys. I mean, I guess they are in Michigan, but fifth round cornerback Keith Abney II, and man, I didn't put where he went.
All right. Arizona State.
I do this on at least two of them, so I did good. I only missed one this time. Fifth round wide receiver Kendrick Law from Kentucky, 6th round defensive tackle Skylar Gill Howard. I didn't put where he was from either.
Texas Tech.
And defensive tackle in the 7th round, Tyree West from Tennessee. Gage, want to go ahead and start us off here with your Lions preview?
So you guys want to know a fun fact about the Lions that I found actually really interesting? This is the 3rd straight season that the Lions have had a win total line of 10.5. Obviously, 2024 they crushed it, 15-2, awesome. Last year they fell short, 9-8, and last year I wasn't surprised to see them take a step back, losing Ben Johnson, losing Aaron Glenn. It was clear that those coordinators who got the most out of the players was going to affect the team, and injuries also played a major role. However, there were 31 missed games among Week 1 starters in the secondary throughout the entire season last year. That's a lot. So maybe it was just an anomaly. Maybe it was we're signing guys off the street here to come play safety for us. There's not much we can do. The Lions, they have plenty going for them. Jared Goff has led the NFL in passing yards and passing touchdowns over the past 4 seasons. Jahmyr Gibbs has scored more touchdowns in his first 3 seasons than any player in history. St. Brown, Jamo Williams, Sam Laporta, all a great supporting cast. Detroit traded David Montgomery to Houston, and you're like, oh no, we lost the Sonic and Knuckles 1-2 punch, and then they go and add Isaiah Pacheco. I like that. I've always liked Pacheco. I just knew he wasn't in a very good situation down in Kansas City, running game-wise. He's going to play a fun role in this offense. And defensively, Aiden Hutchinson obviously is an elite pass rusher. Jack Campbell, one of the best linebackers in football last year. Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, DJ Reed, and Roger McCreary all can handle the weapons in the NFC North. Now I'm doing it. Thanks a lot. If they stay healthy, that is the key to this team. They got to stay healthy. And it's important to note that they have the 6th easiest schedule in the NFL this season, which means they have the easiest schedule in this division. I'll take them to go over on the 10.5. They go 11-6, and they win the division.
Gordon, what do you think about Detroit?
Well, I'm going to disagree with winning the division because I already got Green Bay winning the division. Like I said, you can call it favoritism or whatever in the hell you want. They're winning the division, damn it. But Detroit, we're just going to challenge them for the top. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I believe they're going over as well. Isaiah Pacheco is a nice addition. He doesn't have the speed of Montgomery, but he's got all the power. He can push the line pretty good. As far as I really like their Kendrick Law pick until he got injured. Still like the pick. I think he would have done a lot in this offense because he wouldn't have been number 1 or 2. He'd have been in a spot where you'd had to have your 3rd or 4th corner on him or safety, and he'd have chewed them up. But as far as their draft picks, other than Law, I did like their first pick. I like Blake Miller out of Clemson, the tackle. And it's a good thing they got him because they let Taylor Decker go, which I believe he was a cap casualty. That's a loss. He was a hell of a tackle. He was from Ohio State. Of course, he was a hell of a tackle. He was a part of Ohio State on one of their national championship teams when Ezekiel Elliott was the running back. They'd run to that side, and he would just mow people over. Just push people out of the way. And he'd push Alabama offensive line out of the way. Or Alabama defensive line, just push them out of the way and let Zeke go run right through. Anyways, I do have them going over. I think they're going to have more passing than running, I do believe. I believe St. Brown's probably going to have one hell of a year. And it's not just because I think I got him. Didn't I draft him?
Can't remember who's got him.
Don't remember.
I can't remember. But regardless, I think he's going to have a year. And now I can't remember the guy's name.
Jahmyr Gibbs?
No, the quarterback.
Jared Goff?
Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah, I'm my brain's not working. 4:00 in the morning and sitting here trying to remember names it's not my forte. Anyways, they do got a good tight end group. They got a good tight end room. Yeah, I'm going to agree with 11-6, and they're not going to win the division. It might just be like a thing with the basement floor. Same schedule. It's just whenever they do a comparison schedule, Green Bay comes out on top, or maybe they beat Detroit twice. I don't think so, but I can always hope.
So last year, as Gage mentioned, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn departed for head coaching positions the first season without it. The Lions tapped John Morton as their new offensive coordinator, and he lasted 9 weeks, and Dan Campbell took over in week 10. And the Lions still were ranked in the top 5 in scoring and total yards. But the offensive line was kind of the issue there. As Gage mentioned, a bunch of injuries for this team on the line and the secondary. You lose Taylor Decker, as Gordon mentioned, and center Graham Glasgow. They're both gone. They bring in Cade Mays on the offensive line, Blake Miller. You got all-pro Penei Sewell over there. So the offensive line, maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it goes this year for him. Jared Goff has now played more games as a Detroit Lion than he has as a Los Angeles Ram. So congrats to Jared Goff, I guess. Anyways, and then the line, though, their struggles did not hold Jahmyr Gibbs back. Third straight Pro Bowl nod. He had career best receiving totals. He had 77 catches, 616 yards, 5 touchdowns. 5th in the league in yards from scrimmage. David Montgomery heads off to Houston. He's traded there in March. They bring in Isaiah Pacheco. Pacheco is like you said, he's kind of in a bad situation because they don't, with the rushing game in Kansas City. I don't really think he was the number 1 running back, so this is a perfect scenario for him to come into and not be the main guy, but to be, maybe a replacement for the Sonic and the Knuckles. I don't know. We're still doing that, or are we going to go with a different name? I'm not sure. The wide receiver core for him over here, they've pretty much kept everybody intact just about. Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, he had his first 1,000-yard receiving season last year in 2025. And the coaches are expecting, and apparently, investors in trading cards are expecting a big step up from Isaac Tesla, who had 6 touchdown catches as a rookie on 16 catches. They signed former Arizona Cardinal Greg Dortch to fill Khalif Raymond's slot, who went to Chicago. Sam Laporta, one of the most productive tight ends on that side of the ball. He did miss the final 8 games due to a herniated disc, but he should be ready to go. And it's a contract year for him, so I expect him to have a pretty big year. On the defensive side of the ball over there, Rock Ya-Sin, I just like saying the guy's name. He's going to replace Terry and Arnold. You got DJ Reed over there, Arnold, who's got cut, and now he's playing for Seattle. How'd that work? I don't know. Bring in Roger McCreary. Jack Campbell, as you mentioned, Gage, one of the best linebackers in the league. You also have a pretty good defensive lineman over there, too, in Aiden Hutchinson. So I think the Detroit Lions over 10.5. I'm going to take the over here. I think they get 10.5. But I think they kind of tied Green Bay with the division here, and Green Bay gets the tiebreaker. But I do like the Lions getting back into the playoffs this year, and I think the Bears take a step back, and the Vikings, of course, they end up in the basement. So, yeah, that is our 4-team preview for the NFC North. Now it's awards time, boys. Let's go. Let's start it off with the awards.
Our favorite time.
And let's go with the NFC North MVP. let's start it off with the North man himself over here, the NFC North. Gordon, who do you got?
And this may shock you. I got Jordan Love winning the MVP of the North. Quarterback's going to win the award. He should be the best quarterback in the division. Jordan Love's going to be the MVP.
Gage, who is your NFC North MVP?
I'm in agreement with the fact that a quarterback will win the MVP award. However, I'm going to go to my division winner, the guy that's led the NFL or has been second place in passing yards and touchdowns the past couple seasons. Give me Jared Goff.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go against what you both said here, and a quarterback's winning this award. No, not this time. Give me my MVP. He's also in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, running back, is going to have. He's going to lead the NFL this year in all-purpose yards. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs for my North MVP. And now we go to the NFC North. Oh boy, Offensive Player of the Year. Gage, who do you have as your North Offensive Player of the Year?
My North, oh boy, is from the same team, and it's your MVP. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs.
All right, so with my oh boy, and Gordon, look, I mean, you're going to think, man, he's picking all the lines here. I'm going to go also with the lines, and I'm not going my MVP. My oh boy is a wide receiver. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown as my oh boy. Gordon, who do you have?
Well, my oh boy is coming from the Green Bay Packers. And it's going to be the reason why Jordan Love wins the MVP of the NFC North. It's going to be Matthew Golden.
Wow.
Okay, Matthew Golden.
Second year. Big step.
All right.
And besides, without Double around, he'll get more targets.
All right, so now let's go to our NFC North DPOY, Defensive Player of the Year, and I will go first. I'm going to Green Bay, to the Green Bay Packers. No, it's not Micah Parsons. Give me safety Xavier McKinney as my Defensive Player of the Year. Gage, who do you got as your DPOY?
We might as well just call this the Detroit Lions Awards show because that's exactly where I'm going back here. But we're not going to go with the one that you would think. We're not going to go Aiden Hutchinson. We're also going to go to the defensive backfield. Give me Brian Branch.
Brian Branch. Gordon, who do you have as your NFC North DPOY?
Man, I don't want to pick another Packer because it kind of sounds like I'm playing favoritism. So I'm not going to. I'm going to a Detroit too. Because they're going to win some games. And it's not going to be their line, it's going to be their coverage ability that's going to help them win games. And I'm going to think it's going back in. Their new addition, Kobe Bryant. Fade.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. All right. Kobe Bryant.
Fade. Yeah.
Chicago. All right. The next award we have the NFC North O'Roy Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gordon coming out of Walmart here. Tell me who your O'Roy is for this division.
Okay, I didn't want to pick who you was going to pick, which is a Packer. We actually talked about this people ahead of time because we didn't want where we was constantly kept picking the same person because that was getting kind of old. It was funny as hell, but it was getting kind of old. I was going to pick Kendrick Law, but he got injured, so obviously he is not going to be the O'Roy.
Not this.
So keep me on the same team. Blake Miller, tackle from Clemson.
Okay. All right. Blake Miller. Gage, who is your O'Roy for the AFC North or NFC North? Sorry, here I go again.
So some people may disagree with this. They may throw a flag on the play here, but this guy still scores points. So we're gonna go to the Green Bay Packers and give me Trey Smack. Does it count? I don't know, but he scores points and he's on offense, I guess.
Let's talk about it here. I'll allow it.
All right, cool. The council rules then. Trey Smack is my O'Roy.
And my O'Roy from the NFC North Gordon, I'm glad we talked about this earlier because it would have been weird both of us taking a lineman from the Green Bay Packers and give me center/guard. Don't know where he's going to be playing at yet. Jagger Burton as my NFC North O'Roy Offensive Rookie of the Year. And now that'll lead us to our last award for the division, and that is the NFC North D-Roy Defensive Rookie of the Year. Gage, who do you have as your NFC North D-Roy?
We're going to spread the love out from these two teams here a little bit. Let's go to Chicago. Give me their first-round pick, Dylan Feineman, safety out of Oregon. We did not talk about this one beforehand.
No, we sure didn't. So, hey, it wasn't like I was going to go with that or anything. So I'm going to go back to Detroit here, and give me edge Derek Moore from Michigan as my D-Roy. Gordon, who's your D-Roy?
My D-Roy's come out of a team that I don't talk about much. The Green Bay Packers. Dumani Jackson. I think he's a 6th-round pick, but they don't have him in corner, so he's going to get some playing time. I got a feeling he's probably going to be becoming the cornerback number 2.
I thought you were going to say
maybe become cornerback number 1. I think Cisse, Hurd, and Jackson are going to end up being the starters.
All right, so that's our awards. We're pretty close on our predictions for the season here. Guys, you got anything else you want to add in here for the NFC North preview that we've got?
I apologize. I screwed up. I said it was a line and it was a bear that I picked. I picked a bear shit.
Yeah, I said Chicago after you said it.
I know, but I said line and I screwed up. I was looking at my paper wrong.
We're live, pal.
Oh, wait, we can't do that. We can't do that.
No cuts.
I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't like neither one of the teams, so I don't care if I screw their names up or what team they're on. I can sit there and say they're on the Hidden Valley Girl Scout School for the Blind or some shit. Doesn't make no damn to me.
We've got 7 divisions down. We've hit all of them but one. And we've got 1 division left to preview before the season. Gage, are you ready for the final division next week?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes.
Oh, yeah. So the AFC North. Here I go. I'm going to say it now. The NFC North will be next week.
You're going to do that all next week. You're going to be like, NFC.
I know. And because it's like all the time, every time I'm talking, I'm like, hey, it's the AFC North. Now we're doing the preview, and I'm like, AFC North. And it's like, nope, it's NFC North. Next week, I'll be like, NFC North. Man, I can't get it right. I'll get it right eventually. But AFC North coming in next week. NFC North in the books. Guys, we'll catch you all next week for our final division preview before the season. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys.
Woo! See you then.